Have you missed the opportunity of moving to Myrtle Beach? Has that window of we're waiting for the market to crash, to hit rock bottom, has it reached its place and already moved forward? We're going to discuss that today. What's happening, everybody? It's Jeremy Blanton with RE/MAX Southern Shores. And today I want to kind of discuss the current market and where things are and what kind of state are we in right now with real estate here in the Myrtle Beach area. You know, I work with buyers all the time who are planning a move to the area. And one of the things that I have heard over and over and over for the last year to year and a half is, Jeremy, I don't want to buy right now. I'm waiting for interest rates to come down. I'm waiting for interest rates to come down. I'm waiting for interest rates to come down because it's going to come down and it's going to get a better rate and we're going to be able to save money and the market's going to crash and the market's going to tank. Well, one of the things I do on a regular basis is I go over to our MLS and we have a market stats that shows what's happening in the current market and what's happening with real estate right now. And I've been watching two main factors for a very, very long time. The first one is average price or median price. And the other one that I watch very closely is the amount of inventory, months of inventory that we currently have. Back in 2022, we were around 1 month of inventory. That was the time where a property would hit the market, multiple offers, people competing, bidding $20,000, $30,000 over asking price, fighting to get the home. For someone who was doing a loan, sometimes you couldn't get a house at all. Remember those days? Yeah, that was back then. And then interest rates started to rise. They went from in that right around 3% range to 4, to 5, to 7, to 8. And some people spent well over 8% mortgage rate right now that they have on a current home. So when that started to take place, people said, hold on, I'm not gonna buy right now. And they have waited for interest rates to start to take that dip down. Well, if you remember back to a video that I did beginning of this year, and then another one in the middle of the year as well, I talked about interest rates and how they're going to come down. And that as we head into the fourth quarter of this year, at some point, we're going to see interest rates start to drop. Well, those have already started. Rates have started to come down. We were up over 8, went down to in the 7s, we're now in the 6s, and some places I've seen even starting to get into the 5s. Yes, the 5% interest rates are right around the corner. As I shared back then, the reason that this is going to take place is that as we get closer to this year's election, both parties, whether you're on the right or the left side, it doesn't matter which, both sides are going to try to do whatever they can to make their side look great and they can go, look what we did. And so to do that, interest rates are going to come down. We're going to see drops. And when those things take place, what does that mean for buyers? Well, yes, instead of the mortgage now being $3,000, it's going to drop down to $2,700. But the price that was $300,000 for the home, it's going to start to tick up. When I looked at the stats for this last month, for the first time since January of 2023, have I seen that inventory started to decrease. That's right. First time in over a year and a half, our inventory has lowered. From January 2023 all the way till here we are right now in September of 2024, each month inventory just continued to rise. Why? Because buyers said, hold on, I'm not sure how high this is going to get. I don't want to get involved with it right now. And also at some point they have to come back down. And so a lot of people put a pause. If you remember back in the beginning of the year, I shared in a video about pent-up demand of buyers that are sitting out there. Over 75 million buyers across the country that have been holding off on buying a home. What were some of those reasons? Well, maybe they had a child and they needed a bigger home. But because interest rates went up, they couldn't get rid of their current home and take on a higher payment. Or they are now empty nesters and the kids moved out and the house is way too big. But because they couldn't sell it and get something at the same amount of cost per month, they had to hold on to that bigger house. Or maybe they had a job transfer that now has them 30 to 40 minutes of driving every day. And they just said, you know what, we're just have to stick and grin and bear through driving the extra amount of distance each and every day because we can't afford those changes in our monthly payments. Well, now that interest rates are starting to come down, that huge pent up demand of people, 75 million plus people, are all now coming to start to come to market. They're jumping in, they're starting to move. And what I think is going to happen over the next few months, and as you can see, there's a couple different articles here that I want to show you on the screen. First, let's check this one out. So rates are dropping. Josh Green, a mortgage loan originator at Barrett Financial, thinks there's a 100% chance of Feds cutting the rates, but its impact may vary. If Powell indicates the economy is weaker than expected, or they are considering a bigger cut, then mortgage rates might drop further as prices in those future reductions, Green says. Assuming the Feds achieves a soft landing, which is historically rare but plausible, Green believes rates could hover around 6% for a while. Long term, they may potentially drop to the 4.5% to 5.5% range. Loan Depot's sales manager Debbie Calixto is cautious we may not see substantial drops until after November Fed meeting. If there's confidence in another rate cut in November, we could see another decrease in mortgage rates, possibly in October. So what does this mean for the current market here in Myrtle Beach? Well, let's look at new construction because that's what a lot of people have been interested in over the last several months. And well, that's what there's a lot of inventory right now out there. Back several months ago, you could go in and buy a new construction with some of the national builders and get maybe $15,000 to $20,000 off the asking price. In addition, they were giving anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 in closing costs and usually 2 to 3 upgrades. Things like screening in the porch, blinds, gutters on the home, things like that they're throwing into the deal to sweeten the deal. In addition, they're buying your interest rate down and they're going to give you then that closing cost to help cover all of the expenses. Well, that was several months ago. Where are we right now? They're still offering some closing cost money. Last I heard was right around about $7,000. The interest rates, yeah, they're still doing some of those, but the purchase price, they're not moving as much on them right now. Right now, we're seeing anywhere from maybe a $5,000 to $8,000 discount that you can get on the home. So as you can see, even your big national builders that for them, it's all about just numbers and making things work. They're starting to tighten up their numbers. They're not giving things away near as much as they used to in the past. The same thing is also true when you look at resales. We're not seeing as many people giving huge discounts. People realize the market is starting to heat up again and people are coming to market thinking they're going to sell and they're sticking to their prices a lot more because if they have to wait an extra 2 weeks, so be it, they'll do it. So what does this mean for you right now if you're thinking of buying a home? Well, I'm glad you asked. Honestly, each person's situation is going to be unique. So what would I recommend? Go down below, click on the link that goes to jeremyblanton.com, and there you can book a 30-minute call with me, and we can discuss your situation and your specifics in greater detail. But to give you kind of an overview answer, I would say that what we're going to see over the next few months is inventory start to go down, prices start to go up. It's the age-old principle of supply and demand. Right now, supply is pretty good. As the supply goes down, demand's going to go up, which makes the prices go up. So if you're thinking about making a move to the area, the time is now, I would say. You haven't missed everything yet. There's still great opportunity to make the move to the beach. And here's the thing, whether it costs a little bit more or the same or less than it used to in the past, the things that Myrtle Beach has to offer are still going to be there. We still have the great beach. We still have a low cost of living, and we still have the amazing weather, which is why everyone wants to move to our area. So as always, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, get the bell on, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.